Hello, everyone. I'm so glad you could join me for our last of the Back to the Basics series that we've been doing the entire month of August. It's back to school. It's back to the basics because if you're anything like me, this past summer was a whirlwind and you're just trying to get your feet out from underneath you and trying to figure out what to do next in your business, right? I mean, it's like we're busy with our clients, we're busy trying to manage a business and getting kids figured out with school. And I've got, let's see, I have a freshman in high school, a middle schooler, and my youngest, it's his last year in elementary school. We are all over the place. And so it is just imperative. I thought, shoot, back to basics. It's what we all need just to recalibrate, refresh, and just get us thinking clearly moving into the fourth quarter. All right. Because fourth quarter is where we're going to kill it as far as, sales and growing our business too. So anyway, let's move on to these top 10 secrets. But first, I have to give you a quick little story as to why I even thought I needed to do this in the first place. So in the intro of this podcast, I asked you if you had a client that ever wore you out. And of course I asked that because I have had actually just a few, not very many. And there's one in particular who this person, such a lovely person, but would never do the things that I recommended that she needed to do. And it just every single call, I felt like it was Groundhog Day. And I am the type of person who I like to see results. And I as much as I'm a taskmaster, I'm a people person as well too, big time people person. I'm an extrovert. I love it. I get my energy around people, but I'm also very focused on the prize, like the end game. What is the end result? What's the one thing that we need to see have happen, in order to see that all of these things that we're doing is actually making a difference, right? And so working with people who every time you work with them, they've never made any progress from the last time you met with them. You feel like you're constantly repeating yourself. Y'all, I figured out really quick, those are not the types of people that I really want to work with. So on the disc, I've talked about the disc a bajillion times, I feel, and I'll continue to talk about it because that's just what I do. But on the disc profile and the disc personality assessment tool that I use with all of my clients, the disc is just it's another tool in the toolbox, so to speak, of, an assessment tool that allows me to be able to see what type of communicator, what type of team person that you really are. It helps with sales. It helps with your communication strategy, helps you to be a better leader and communicator within your own organization. I'm just a big, huge fan of the disc. Well, on the disc, so each letter of disc stands for something, DISC. D stands for dominant, I stands for influence, personality type, S stands for Steady-relator, C stands for conscientious type of a personality. So I am an influencer personality, but I verge very heavily to the D area, the dominant personality. And so the D part of me is very results oriented. All right. And so when I am not seeing the results that I want, I am really big on shifting and pivoting and figuring out what's going to work next. I am not the type who sticks with something for a long, long time, just hoping and praying that it's going to work, because hoping and praying is not a strategy that I use in my business. So, it was just so interesting. I was working with this client who, she was just constantly living in a state of chaos, with work and home life and all that fun stuff. And just nothing could ever get done. And my personality type is very, let's scratch it off the list. Let's move on. Let's make something happen. I want to see what's going to happen in this business if we implement this particular strategy. And she just was not like that. Again, a lovely person, but just not motivated that way. And I just found myself beating my head up against a wall every single time I got off the phone, going, oh my God, how can I make this any better? And the fact of the matter is, I can't make anything be better with somebody else. The only person that we have control of is ourselves, right? So anyway, I let go of that client, learned some really good, valuable lessons along the way. Okay, I don't want to work with these types of clients anymore. They just wear me out too much. And I love what I do too much. And I love the energy that I put into it. And when you're around people who suck the energy out of you, it's not helpful for the people that truly need to have that energy around them. All right. So one of the hardest parts of running a business is marketing yourself to the people who you really want to work with, because let me tell you, it is not just anyone, right? I know I can hear some amens in the back of the church, right? Today, we're going to cover my top 10 secrets to help you market your business and sell to any type of personality. But before we dive into this top 10 list, I want you to really think about the type of person you enjoy working with the most. All right. This is so important, guys. You've got to think about that person. Who have you worked with in the past that's made work fun for you? Who was enjoyable to be around? What was their name? What about them did you really like? All right. I want you to think about this. I want you to actually name that person and remember as many details as you can about them as we go through this list, because I'm telling you, if you want to sell to the people that you really, really enjoy working with, you have got to use words that will resonate and land with that particular personality type. You have to do it that way. Okay. So I approach what I call typing my clients with the DISC profile. The DISC is merely a personality assessment tool used by thousands of companies worldwide, from big, huge corporations to small businesses, government, and nonprofits. I mean, you name it. The DISC profile is used with so many across the world. And it's an assessment tool that has 4 main components. And like I said earlier, there's D for dominant, the dominant personality. I is for influencer. S is for the steady-relator. And C is for our conscientious individuals. All right. So just to kind of give you a little overview as to the dominant personality, those are the people who, like I said about myself, results oriented, like they make decisions fast. Okay. Your influencer, and they can be somewhat demanding at times too. And I'm sure some of you probably have a person like this in mind, right? Your influencer type personality, these are going to be the life of the party type people. They like to have a good time. They're extroverts. They love being around other people. They love to have fun. Your steady relators, your S type personalities, those are people who they love being around people. They're people oriented, but they're also very collaborative in nature as well too. They like harmony. They like peace. Okay. They're not going to disrupt things. They're steady. Whereas your C, your conscientious type people, those are going to be the people who are highly analytical, very data driven. They've got I've said this before about my C type personalities. My husband is an accountant, and there's a lot of accountants that are C personalities. They like to have a lot of spreadsheets, a lot of data before they make decisions. Okay. So let's dive into these secrets that I want to tell you all about, and just think about your perfect client and which bucket do they fit in. All right. Because we're going to cover all these types. So, secret number 1, when you're communicating with a D, a dominant style personality, do not waste their time. Okay. These people are direct in their communication and they want to accomplish things quickly. So if they feel like that you're wasting their time, peace out, they're done. They're not listening to you anymore. So with our dominant type personalities, do not waste their time. Okay. That's secret number 1. Secret number 2, when communicating with your influencer type styles, you need to expect to spend some time to chat with them. They're people type pleaser people. Oh my gosh, say that 3 times fast. Anyway, they love to interact with people in open and engaging ways. They love to swap stories. They like to ask opinions. They really want to be a part of that conversation. They want that level of engagement. So expect spending time to chat with your influencer type personalities. All right. Secret number 3, when communicating with your steady-relator type styles, you need to give them the opportunity to create routine and harmony in this situation. They are really great at creating a collaborative environment, creating harmony. They are the peacekeepers of our personality types. And when you give them the opportunity to be able to do that, you will win every single time. Okay. Secret number 4, when you're communicating with your C styles, your conscientious type people, again, and I said this earlier, but you have got to deliver logic, data, facts, and information. An opinion is a total waste of their time and yours. They do not want your opinion. They will completely check out if you share opinions or ask them to chat about their opinions. They don't give a crap about that. All right. They want data. They want facts. They fear being wrong more than anything. So the more information and facts that you can give them and not opinion-based information is a good thing. All right. So that's secret number 4. Secret number 5, both of the dominant and influencer styles prefer a fast pace, while the S and C styles, the steady-relator and conscientious styles, prefer a slower pace. So with our dominant and influencer type styles, they want bullet point information. They want information fast. I'm snapping my fingers. I'm not exactly sure why, because this is a podcast, but anyway, they prefer a fast pace. Whereas your steady-relator and C type people, they again want information. They want to take their time. If you pressure them for that time, they're out on that as well too. So just know the difference. Your D and I styles are fast. Your S and C styles are going to prefer a much slower pace. All right. Secret number 6, the I and S styles. So those are the influencer and our steady-relator styles, are open and relational. They love people. All right. They love to be around their people, their tribe. While the dominant and conscientious styles are more guarded and task oriented. So you've got to make sure that in your messaging and your marketing, you respect those preferences. Again, oh my Lord, y'all, this is such valuable information and will completely shift the trajectory of your business if you pay attention to the personality styles of your perfect client and really understand and know how they want to be communicated with. Because when you do that, when you respect those preferences, you will win. Okay. They will want to do business with you. So again, those influencer and steady-relator type styles are very open and really, they're going to be your people persons. Okay. Whether in your D and your C styles, your dominant and conscientious styles, they're more guarded. They're not as interested in conversation. They're not as interested in the people side of things. They're very task oriented. Okay. They're very task oriented. They want the information. They want to check off the task. Okay. All right. So that's secret number 6. Secret number 7. Everyone can solve problems, but the higher intensity dominant styles, our D styles, are very aggressive problem solvers. So if you give them the opportunity to save the day, they're going to love you. All right. So think about it like that. If you have a problem, if your business solves a particular problem, and say in your social media post, your email marketing, your blog, or your video that you're putting out into the world, you're talking about a certain problem and you're allowing them the opportunity to come and save you. Oh my goodness. Like you have won them over. So again, your higher intensity dominant, your D styles are very aggressive problem solvers. All right. Secret number 8, when you're working with an influencer style, they can be emotional or intuitive. So your I styles choose to influence people with feelings, not necessarily facts. So you can't bore them with facts. They're not going to want to read your 25-page PDF handout on something. They're going to want to read bullet points, 3 to 5 bullet points, maybe max, but they really do influence people with feelings. So how can you take facts and inject an emotional component to that? So think about that. Your influencer type personalities are very emotional and they're intuitive thinkers, and they want to, when they're talking with their friend groups, or when you're talking with someone to influence them to buy something, you better incorporate emotion and feeling into that, because if it's all fact driven, they're going to be out on that. Okay. Secret number 9, our S style, the steady-relator style personality, is an amazing listener and an even better collaborator. Okay. Don't expect them to share their opinion quickly. You need to respect this boundary and earn their trust. Okay. They're an amazing listener, an even better collaborator, but they don't share opinions quickly. If you pressure them to share, if you pressure them to buy, they're out. They're not going to do it. They're just not. Secret number 10, the C style, that conscientious style, is very cautious in the decision-making process. Okay. You have to they learn to use their cautious style to carefully weigh options. Again, their biggest fear is that they don't want to be wrong. Right. And so if that is their biggest fear, you've got to give them a lot of information, a lot of options in order to make that decision. All right. Because they're very cautious decision makers. So the more information that you can give them, the more the more of a likelihood that they're going to buy from you. Okay. So again, this wraps up the secrets. I would normally recap them. There's 10 of them. So you'll just have to listen to this again if you want, but this is really valuable information. And again, why is this so important to really know this about your perfect client? Because your messaging is going to directly impact who your perfect client is on an emotional level, on an intuitive level, on a data-driven level. And you have to know what type of person that they are in order to know how to craft that message. Okay. So again, if this is something that you feel like, oh my God, this is really interesting, I want to learn more. And how can I learn the style of my perfect client? Well, then you need to take the DISC assessment yourself. And that's something that we do on my 16-minute strategy calls. You'll take the DISC assessment. You'll get a report. We'll talk about your particular style, and we will talk about your perfect client style as well too, because that information is shared in that report as well. Who are the types of people that you're going to best message to and resonate with? And we're going to develop a profitable marketing strategy based on that. And let me tell you, when you do that, it actually feels natural. It doesn't feel spammy. It doesn't feel like you're trying to, market a message that doesn't really feel like you. I am a big believer. If we can't align your marketing message to be really natural and comfortable with you, you're not going to do it. Right? Just like with anything. If it's not something, if there's not an ease of use about it, you're not going to do it. And when it comes to marketing your business, we have to be marketing your business in order to keep that client pipeline full. And I know that you want that too. So if this is of interest to you, I urge you, click the link in my bio on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, wherever you see me. Visit my website at heatherlisle.com. That's Heather, L-I-S, as in Sam, L-E.com. And let's connect. Let's make that happen. Until next time, have a great week.